This conference will now be recorded.
All right. So, then I'll just give a high-level overview what we are going to cover in this course.
Okay.
Um, so, Tomcat installation configuration, that would be the first task. I think today we can finish this first one. And then deployment of web applications. Then on the load balancing with the cluster. After
Okay.
that, database connectivity, JDBC configuration and testing that. Then
Okay.
the security process, which includes the SSL configuration. Then logging, the most important part for the performance tuning, where the applications will be running and you're going to have the logs created separately
Okay.
for application and servers.
Okay.
So how that will be controlled, how that would be formatted, see in
Mm.
the logging. And then virtual host configuration, which will be segregate for each application module if it is required, and we can make different virtual host configurations. Then how do we monitor the application running on top of Tomcat?
Okay.
And CGI, just a brief because it is optional, and troubleshooting different aspects which we are going to have in couple of situations, scenarios to discuss on the troubleshooting part.
Okay.
So this is how what I thought this could be the overall content which I can take up as a section. So do you think this is sufficient, or you find something is missing in this?
I hope think this is okay for me. Like
Uh-huh.
um, apart from this, Pawan, like is that can you take a little bit of shell script if possible? Just startup script and
Sure, sure.
for just
That would
yeah,
So at the time
yeah,
of starting, stopping the servers and other stuff deployment
yeah,
process,
yeah,
I will take the brief idea about the script, what we can. Yeah, I'll do that.
yeah. That's okay. As of now, it's okay. If I need anything, I'll let you know. Once I go through this one, I'll come to know, like, so
Sure.
what I work. Yeah, this looks good, Pawan, for me right now. Yeah,
Thanks, Shiva.
yeah. Thank you.
Okay. So why Tomcat is in this era? So it is almost when Java is created that time onwards, WebLogic and WebSphere, these two are competing with the J2E application servers. Tomcat is developer favorite application service. And current trend is changed. People are moving towards microservices and they are looking back towards the Tomcat now because it is lightweight, it is open source, and it is portable. So you can
Okay,
run the Tomcat server on Linux, Unix, and as well as Windows also.
okay,
So it doesn't require any prerequisites, or you don't need to configure something that is required to run this application. So if you look at the other application servers, you need minimum requirements. You need to upgrade your operating system, then only it can run. But Tomcat doesn't require anything to upgrade. It runs on as usual. It can run on 32-bit Windows also. It can run on 64-bit Windows also. It can run on Linux also. It's a very flexible and portable. And one more advantage from the Tomcat is it is production grade web application server.
what is the production?
So whenever you are going to work with the application that is going to serve the many customers, it is not just for development, that is production. So the
Okay,
application created that will be used live environment that we are
yeah,
going to call it as a production. So
okay.
web
Oh,
application server,
yeah, okay, okay. It still works in the front end only.
yeah. So there are two different things you need to understand here. So web server and here Java server, Java web server. These are the two different terminologies. So if you take web server, which runs the HTTP protocol. So there is Apache HTTP server and Apache Tomcat server. What is the difference between these? Do you have any ideas?
No.
So Apache HTTP service server that is capable of handling HTTP requests and response. It runs as a HTTP protocol. It serves HTTP protocol. But here, Apache Tomcat, it runs HTTP server plus Java-based application can be run on top of this one. So Tomcat is a container, web container it is going to hold. So this web container is going to work as a front end. So it is also capable of small lower load of database connections as well.
Okay.
So if you take real-time scenarios, the architecture will goes into two different scenarios: presentation layer and business layer. So this will
Okay.
work for the presentation layer. And if there is a smaller projects, tiny projects like runs microservices, the service means it is going to have some functionality that will be serving one particular need. For example, a banking application. So you want to check bank account. So you just want to enter some data and you want to get the information about that. So this is a simple application that can be done from one particular service. You don't need two, three servers running on that one. So for that, we just create microservices. So right now the trend is going with the microservices and containerization. So that suits best for the Tomcat. Okay.
Okay.
And
What is the
one more.
presentation layer and business layer, Pawan?
Mhm. Yeah. So presentation layer means it is going to present in the browser. Whenever the client, internet client, customer who are accessing the application, they will be accessing from the browser, any browser.
Okay.
That may be mobile, that may be internet browser. They are getting into their browser. What you are getting, that is a presentation layer content. So this presentation layer content will be two parts. One is dynamic content, another one is static content.
Okay.
So when you are going to work with the Apache HTTP server, it can serve only static content
Okay.
because it is just sends the file what is present in the server HTTP server. It is as it is. It is going to send it to the front that browser client.
Apache HCP.
Apache HTTP server capable of sending the content what you have in the server, same thing will be there in the browser client
Browser.
also.
The front end sharing this.
Yeah. So you don't have any changes. For example, if I'm going to if I'm going to request a file that is having extension as PDF,
Okay.
which is created on the server, and that will comes to the browser as it is. You don't have any changes. If I'm going to request something, a movie download that is there in the server MP4, the same file will be coming into your browser, same as it is, no changes. That is static. So static content you can serve from the simple web server, but dynamic content, when you enter username password for your bank account,
Mm-hmm.
it is going to validate, is this
Right.
customer is available in my
Or
database.
database. Okay.
So this dynamism, it will validate, it will check if it is there, then it is going to give your next screen. If you are not the customer, you are not authorized to access. Simple, simple logic. So this business logic will be work at the back end. It will contact something in the server side. The objects, Java objects will be interact, and then it is getting the content, sending back to the client browser. So that input and output both are dynamic. If I'm entering my username password, I'm going to get my information. You are entering your username password, you are going to get the content of your account information. It's completely dynamic. So the dynamic content can be served from the Tomcat web server, Java web server, J server. Okay,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So the next point is compatibility. So Tomcat, if you look at any other servers, each version is going to have some complexity. Here, Tomcat 7, 8, 9. These are the 4 versions. If I
Okay.
have an application, if I am created some application 5 years back, I can easily deploy the same application into my 9 Tomcat 9 also. There is
Okay.
no hassles, no problems at all, because it
Okay.
is incremental development of the server. The
Okay.
server, Tomcat server, which is developed, it is incremental. It doesn't remove any features. It is just cumulative, keep on adding new features, giving extra features only.
Okay.
Okay, so that is a compatibility you are getting from the Tomcat.
Okay.
Yeah. So any other questions from this? Why Tomcat?
No, I'm good. Just one question, Pawan. So, this the goes including Apache also, right? Just a few days you said. I mean, that
Apache
is
and
no. I mean, Apache HTTP also you're taking this one, right? Just one class you
yeah,
said, right?
Apache
Okay.
is also covered in this. It's a part of your Tomcat.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's what. No, you didn't. It was not there in the agenda. That's why. Just want to make sure.
yeah.
Okay.
We'll
Okay.
comparatively take it, and we'll if you look at the virtual host, that is completely same what you have in the HTTP server. Same thing.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Just want to make sure, Pawan. Thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm good.
yeah.
I'm good with this one.
I'll
Yeah.
continue and keep going on that. Yeah, sure. Yeah. So the basic intro overview of Tomcat. So Tomcat is specially designed, developed using Java program, Java language used for developing this server, and it is
Okay.
developed as a web server, and it is published as a it is used for publishing developed web application. So any web applications that runs for Java, that we are going to use two specifications: servlet specification, JSP specification. Servlet
Oh, here
can be,
the development web server to publish their web application. So, okay.
yeah. So web applications, these web application. Normally, if you take the static content web application, HTML, simple
Okay.
HTML programs are called web applications. But here we are going to use dynamic web applications. Dynamic web applications uses specifications, Java specifications.
Okay.
Java server, every server uses specifications implemented server. So J2EE specification, it is having servlet one of the specification. So this web applications follows servlet 3 version, servlet 4 version implementation, and it's related JSP also supported from the top. So Tomcat is Java centric. So whatever you develop, it is focused. As I mentioned, CGI is optional. CGI is another option where you can run on a web server any script. It means shell script, Python script, Perl script,
Mhm.
anything that you can keep into this server, web server, and then you can make that server as a dynamic server. This
Okay.
server, Tomcat web server, is only focused, designed for Java, not
Okay.
focused on other things. Okay, so that's why I'm just clarifying that it is Java centric. It's designed for Java web applications that runs servlets, that runs JSPs. So it is easy to install, very, very easy. You don't need a
No,
very
your voice is breaking. It's run only servlet and what is the other one? Servlet and what is the other one?
JS Java Server Pages.
Okay, JSP. Okay,
JSP. So JSP is actually converted into Servlet. So underneath, everything will be run by the Servlet engine only. That
okay,
means the Servlet and JSP both will run with the Servlet engine only. So that
okay.
Servlet engine is part of your Tomcat,
The
right?
servlet engine is a part of it. Okay,
Yeah. So when you are going to run this Tomcat, it is very, very easy to install on any system, and it doesn't take any time to install because it's a just compressed file. It's a zip file or tar.gz file. So what you
okay,
need extra when you're going for a production based or live systems? Only thing is you need to check the hashes or encryptions what they are given in the Tomcat website.
okay.
Okay,
So
we'll talk that
the
in detail in the
okay,
next
I have
slides.
okay. I have one found out. So the
Yeah.
servlet and JSP, the web applications which the developer or developments that only run in JSP and servlet, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay,
Okay. So when we are going to take any JDE application server, we need to configure extra things. If you go for WebLogic, you need to create a domain, then you can start the WebLogic server. If you go for the WebSphere, you need to create a cell, and in that one DMGR, then only you are able to start the server. So in
okay,
Tomcat, you don't need to configure anything. It's server. So it's a self-contained. You don't need to configure anything else. So
okay,
Tomcat, you just start the server, it will work. No customizations, no extra piece. If you want to configure multiple servers, then you need to change. You
okay,
want to run multiple ports, you want to accessible, you access that you can do that is possible from the servlet, server.con, server.xml, you need to modify. So that
okay,
we'll discuss in detail that you don't need to worry about that.
okay. So okay. So
Yeah.
one small question. What is the difference between why the two servlet and JSP? Anyway, the JSP is
Uh,
going to
it is more specific to development, but anyway, you asked for this. Let me clarify. So if
just
I'm going to write Java, there is a structure of the Java program. You need to import the program in the top first lines. You are going to write import. Second
mhm.
block will be talks about the functions, Java methods we are going to call. And
Okay,
then we're going to have the main program. That is a simple Java program structure. Servlet program doesn't have main program because it doesn't run on JVM. It runs on top of Servlet engine. That's why it is going to have separate functions, servlet specific functions. So
okay,
servlet function work, that function will work with the two parameters, HTTP request, HTTP response. So request will be coming in, response will going out. So
okay,
these are the two in function parameters. So
okay,
it's like pointers in a function. So these
okay,
two are common. So the same thing, whenever you work with the JSP program will be very smaller, simple. It gives a more comfortable for the developer. So he just focus on the web page, and he develop the code in between the HTML tags. Within the tags, he will call the servlet related functions. So that conversions, the HTML content converted back into the servlet, and servlet will be generated internally in the servlet engine. So it's like two phases when you write a JSP. First phase, it will convert into the servlet, then it will compile, then it is going to run the program in the server. If you write the servlet, it is directly you can compile and run in the server. So servlet is faster for execution, JSP is faster for the development. Clear?
okay.
So flexibility given for the developer, not for administrator.
Okay.
Yeah. So both are same for us. At the end, the server is going to run the servlet or JSP. The functionality will be just given, that is a business layer or front end presentation layer. That will be coming from that. So the next thing we would like to discuss on Tomcat installation on a Linux platform.
Okay.
Okay. So before jumping on to this one, I request you to download two things on your laptop. One
Okay.
thing is Oracle VirtualBox.
Okay.
Oracle VirtualBox latest version, 6 version 6 point something is there. Please download that one.
Okay.
Second, download Vagrant, Vagrant. Vagrant. If you are working on Windows laptop, then download for the Windows 64.
Okay. Vagrant. VAG. What is the Vagrant?
Vagrant is a smarter software layer that will make the virtualization simplified. Virtualization, you can get it from the VirtualBox, but uh, if you want to install a software operating
Okay.
system software, you need ISO file, that is installer, operating system installer. For example, Red Hat Linux, it is around 7 GB or 8 GB overall size. If I'm
Okay.
using a virtual box with the
Okay.
Vagrant people, what they did, they squeezed the boxes. Squeezed is a very important point here. They squeezed the boxes, and the kernel, Linux kernel, is made with the different flavors, and that flavors does not have UIs. GUI is not present. Only kernel wrapper. So it will
Okay.
be very smaller size, 600 MB, 700 MB, like that. Within 1 GB, the box, Linux box will be available. That
Okay.
is available in the Vagrant cloud. The cloud link, the name, if you mention, it will automatically download for you. And once you say just Vagrant up, you will be getting one Linux box available on your Windows platform.
Okay.
You can switch, you can connect from the PuTTY terminal, and easily you can access. So that is the
Okay.
benefit you are going to get from the Vagrant and Oracle
So,
VirtualBox.
like previously,
Vagrant
I think.
is internally
Okay.
VirtualBox. It's a
Okay.
provider.
Okay.
Yeah.
So previously we saw VMware.
VMware is heavy.
Okay. Now it's okay. So this VirtualBox
You know
you said that.
VMware, right? So you learn this one,
Yeah. Okay. So
virtualization, key
Oracle
concepts.
VirtualBox. Which one I had to download for platform packages? Windows host, right? VirtualBox for.
Correct, exactly. I'll make you presenter. Let me see what you're doing there.
Okay. 1 second.
Yeah, in GoToMeeting, please share your screen by clicking on the monitor symbol icon.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Share. You got my screen, right?
Yeah, got it.
So,
Yeah, so go to the VirtualBox
I, I,
page.
I, I did this one, that Windows
Okay.
host.
Yeah, Vagrant 2.2.4. Okay, VirtualBox 6.0.8. Okay, that looks fine.
And, yeah, this one is Windows 64-bit.
Okay,
Right. Okay.
both are Windows.
Yeah, both are Windows. Yeah, this one is for Windows. This one, and here I choose this one, Windows host.
Okay,
So because I have a Windows, my OS is Windows.
Windows
So
10, right?
yeah, Windows 10. Yeah.
Okay, okay. And also go for the Tomcat site. What is the stable version? Yeah, please go to the Tomcat site.
Again, sorry.
Yeah, so Tomcat,
Let me go here and search.
download Tomcat.
So
Uh,
So
Okay.
9 is
So we have three different options: 7, 8, 9. So these are the three versions active currently. So which one
okay.
you need to take? Why you need to take? What are the advantages you're going to get from this? There is a download, right? So which version is a question mark? You see there, the left side.
So yeah, so we'll go with the 7 or
8. We'll go
8.
with the 8.
Okay.
Okay. So in this version, what you are seeing there, the first important thing what I would like to mention here is the most common requirement whenever you develop something and you want to run, it requires to go as a production or a live.
Mm-hmm.
When the Tomcat for live, you must verify. So how to verify? They mention at the top. So what is a verify? Why we need verify? So the binary distribution, the tomcat.org,
What
they are
what what
having their own
what should I verify?
developers.
What should I verify? What should be verifying here?
Yeah. So in every zip, after that you have in brackets there are two things: PGP SHA-512.
Okay.
What is these two things actually does? Okay. So you download any one of the core. Please download the first one and second one. Zip file and tar.gz. Anything is fine.
Okay.
In the core, select the zip or tar.gz.
Okay. I think it's not downloading or
Yeah, it will work parallelly. Okay. Yeah. So let me just switch back to my screen. I'll just explain what is installation process.
okay.
Yeah. Hope you are able to see my screen.
Yeah, give me a second. Yeah, I can.
Okay. So in Linux, we can use any one of the option. You can download zip file or you can download tar.gz file. Depends on the space you have available on your system. So
Okay.
tar.gz is smaller size, zip is much more bigger in size. But
Okay.
comfortability, if you are comfortable with the zip, unzip is fine and you have a lot of disk space, you can go with the zip, right?
Uh-huh.
So when you are going to download, first option what we are selecting is the core. Core means that is a
Uh,
Tomcat core.
what is
Okay,
that? I mean, I
the
can hear
core
you. What is that? Core means what is that?
core is a program that is Tomcat server.
Okay.
Okay, so that is completely developed in Java program. Okay, so
Okay.
the core
Okay.
we are going to download that runs the server, Tomcat server. Okay,
Okay.
so what it requires to run? If you download, zip and unzip, what is the next step? Prerequisite to run the Tomcat is just a Java. So you should also download Java for latest version, that 1.8 latest version download, and we will
Okay.
install in the Linux machine. So that is the
Okay.
prerequisite. The next thing is starting the Tomcat. So that is how the process will go on, and we can access once the server is up. Localhost 8080 is the default port. 8080 is the default port. You can change that one to any other port as per your requirement. So in
Okay.
real time, nobody uses the default port. People changes the port and then use that. So in
Okay.
production, definitely you need to modify the port, default port.
Okay. So here we need to download the Java Home and JRE2, right?
JDK you need to download. Latest JDK 1.8 U underscore 8812 is the latest one.
I mean,
Yeah,
for
yeah. Anyway, I'll switch back to your screen and we'll download that. So I'll just give some brief idea and then move on to your downloads and next steps.
okay.
Yeah. So when you're going to install for a production, you must verify. So what is a verify? Why do we need verify? Verify whenever you are going to check the Tomcat installer, which is available from multiple mirrors. It is available in Indonesia, it is available in India, it may be available from the UK or US. Different servers, mirrors are there. From there, it is going to come. So
Okay.
what developer, Tomcat developer created, they are signed that jars, signed that zip files. The compressed file is zipped and they are signed by Apache org employees, Apache org developers. So
Okay.
how we can check is it really Apache user created, Apache developer created or not? So that is what we have message digest and there are different methods to validate that one. SHA algorithm you can use or you can use PGP, pretty good privacy. So these are the different methods. The early version, if you are going for 7 version, it was with the MD5 and SHA. Now
Okay.
8 version, Tomcat 8 and 9, it uses PGP and SHA 5 and 2. Okay, so we'll see that one. What are those algorithms? How we can validate? What are the commands we can use? Okay, so once we get this Tomcat to run that one, we can enhance the capability to run as a server. We are going to have some Java parameters. So this Java parameter, Java options, we can add to increase the RAM memory size you want to allocate for the JVM. And you want to collect the garbage collection, what is happening in the JVM. When the
Mm.
garbage collection is happening, all those details you can collect by setting up the JVM options. But we'll
Okay. That
discuss every line, every garbage collection line in detail when we come to the performance tuning part of this one. Don't worry about this one. But in production, it looks like this. We need to
okay.
add this Java options. Okay. So
Yeah.
Shiva, you have question something?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how this Tomcat is going to work in real-time architecture, the architecture perspective, server internally, how it looks. You have web customers or clients. They are going to connect. They are going to push the request. We are going to call it as a HTTP client. They mentioned servlets, JSPs are going to take HTTP requests as an input. In
Oh,
Tomcat, we have connectors. There are three types of connectors, three protocols supported from Tomcat. One
okay.
is HTTP, two HTTPS. When you enable SSL, you are able to use the HTTPS.
Yes. Okay.
AJP, it is the internal protocol for the Tomcat, and the possibility of accepting the request, you can also accept the TCP request. Two requests, HTTP request, TCP request. Two protocol requests you can accept. So when you are sending the request using the TCP protocol, that is a fourth layer of the network OSI structure. So if you are sending that request, then where does it go? It's going for a socket connection. WebSockets is a new concept that is introduced in 7 onwards. Tomcat 7 onwards it is supporting, and 8, 9 also supports the WebSockets. So if the developer develops WebSockets, web services, they are going to connect with the WebSockets. It is fastest way of communication in the web applications. Okay, so what is that one? How develop? I don't know about the development process, but it supports on the server. On the Tomcat server 7 onwards, we have WebSockets supported. Okay, so in this one, the hierarchy looks like this. Tomcat server runs, but the server is nothing but servicing on one particular port. So when it is running on 8080 or 80 something number, what you are mentioned, that service runs on top of Catalina Tomcat engine. The Tomcat engine is capable to run on a host, the machine, local host, or you can give the IP address. So local host is always mapped with 127.0.0.1. So that is a local host. But if you are going to have an IP address for your uh, Linux box, you can give the host IP
Okay.
address and name of the host.
Okay.
Anything is fine. And when
Okay.
you are
So
going to access the content, what is the content? So there are multiple options. You can have docs, documentation. You can have host manager, the Tomcat host manager. You can have root applications. The web applications will be accessible from the Tomcat IP address, port number, /. Then you are going to give the context. Any application
okay.
that you
So
are deploying, that you can access from the after the port number onwards.
okay.
Yeah. So
So
this
here
request
understand that
every
Tomcat is a server. It has a services. The services run on the engine called Catalina. So it has a host like local host, and the local host we have the applications like across the slab, I mean, our IP address.
correct.
Right.
Yeah.
So
So
how
if
the
you are going to have content, the content again, I told
yeah,
you two types of content: static content, dynamic content.
dynamic
That
control.
changes.
That's right. Yeah, that I understand. So how the connectors work here? Can you explain again how the connectors work here from the client request to the server? How it's
Connector is just like a socket mediator. The
okay.
request on demand, every request, one thread will be created at the backend. If you take one
Okay.
HTTP request, for example, I'm accessing my bank account, login page is there. So one login page request comes, one client handler thread will be created automatically by the Catalina engine. So that thread
Okay.
work for me, and my session is completed, the thread will die. Another request come
Okay.
from you, that again creates another thread, and it will work for that. So the
So
protocol, HTTP
uh-huh.
protocol opens one socket, and that socket is always connected, always ready to give request to the Catalina engine. And engine internally takes the request and process by threads, freshly created on demand, one thread. One request comes, one thread. So 10 requests comes, then 10 threads will be created.
Okay. Why it's creating the threads here?
Thread is interacts with the CPU. So whenever you want to do some calculation, it is going for the CPU processor. The
Okay.
processor will
So
be
Catalina.
using the thread.
Okay. Sorry. The processor.
Yeah,
What is it?
yeah, CPU processor, you want to use it for the Tomcat, the Catalina engine,
Uh-huh.
then it is going to allocate a particular CPU cycle. So when cycle is allocated, that within that cycle, it has to finish the task. So that will be done by a thread. So one thread goes into that CPU and do the process, come out of that. So that is a cycle. So
Okay.
CPUs, whenever you are going to check the CPU cycles, how is the load on your server, all the stuff we will see in detail when we come to the performance
Okay.
of this. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. I talked about hashes. When you are going to install Tomcat for production, you must verify your hashes. Hashes that is given in your brackets. Whenever you are downloading zip file or .zip, it is having the name, what type of hash they are used. So previous earlier versions you have MD5 and SHA-1. These are the
Why
different.
should okay? Why should you verify means like what is the use of verification this one? Because they have a by default they have these versions. So we will go and some location the download locations in the server will go and download that one. Even that time also we need to check that one. I mean, we don't go directly and download a Tomcat. So already the companies have their secure folder. So there we'll go and they will the shared folder will go and get the Tomcat versions, right?
As administrator, you are the responsible person to download and keep. Suppose you are having the Tomcat 9 requirement. So who is
But they,
going to
okay,
get
but
that one, keep into the
okay,
shared drive? You are the person. you are going to get that and keep in your shared drive.
But they don't use a direct Tomcat. They use some customized one, right? If they have, I mean, I think I heard
They
some
have
my com
customized, definitely you have to go with that.
Okay, so that time also I need to check this. That time also we need to just check these hashes.
Customized Tomcat you don't need,
Okay,
because they
so
already downloaded the actual core and they modified, customized it.
right.
Yeah. Okay. So if there is a core, your requirement is core, download and keep it that, then this is a process. You need commands like md5 sum, sha1 sum. That is a command you can run in Linux box.
Okay,
Check that zip file. You'll be getting automatically what is the encrypted value, the code you are going to get. Okay.
okay,
Just to know
okay.
awareness. If you are not doing also fine, but tomorrow you may go somewhere else and you need to do that code
No, no,
down. Yeah. So
I'm
just
just
use
asking.
that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm just asking why it's a mean mandatory to check in all the download versions or only this one. That's what I
Yeah.
asked.
Why it is mandatory for the production means the mirrors. Mirror
Okay,
is not reliable. Mirror means anybody can host. Even I can host Tomcat server from India, Hyderabad.
okay, right,
I can modify, I can tamper the code, I can put some virus in that one and I can give it.
right. Okay, got it.
So that's the main reason. So you should verify to say that this is from the original Tomcat organization. That is what
Okay,
the main intention, to verify the hash.
okay,
So these are the simple commands: md5 sum or checksum, sha1. So in Windows we have another special utility called cert utility. Okay.
okay,
Right. So if I'm going to check in Windows, it looks like this. I tested yesterday. So that looks cert util hash file, then the Tomcat installer. ZZ file I have
okay,
tested for SHA-5112. So this is the algorithm they are given there. And if I click on the uh, website, Tomcat website, let me go to the browser. Yeah. Uh, Here we have the quick navigations. So keys 8.5.42, etc.
yeah,
But what I'm looking for is the SHA algorithm. Does it
right.
matches to the digital signature? So if you look at here, the first 1C00, and at the end you see CC4.
48.
So what is the version? Tomcat 8.5.42 zip file. Okay, so if I'm having zip file, I can verify this one. So I have a tar.gzip. So I'm going for the sharp. So you see here the first two letters can look much more different also. So what I have in my screen, PE 6B, and at the end you see 640F. So this is the verification you can do. This is a simple
Okay,
verification, digital
okay,
verification. So how
okay.
do you
Got,
do?
got
This
it.
is the process you need to know.
Got it now. Yeah. Okay.
Simple verification. Okay, so
Okay.
that is for SHA. Same way PGP, but in PGP little tricky is there. We'll see that one later on in the next session. In detail, step by step commands are there, but anyway, it is not compulsory mandatory, but you should verify when you are going for the production, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So the next thing is just want the, yeah, if I look into the Linux box, in the Linux I just check with the SHA-512 sum. So it is verifying the same number 3E. You can see 3E in Windows also, and in Linux also it is the same. Okay, so you can verify on any machine, the checksum is same, the outcome is same. In Windows, the comfortability is every two characters are separated by one space. That is the advantage.
Okay.
So let's go for your system and try to install. Then we'll come back to the directory structure, other steps. So let us
Okay,
see on your system how we can go and proceed further installation. I'm making a present. Please share.
sure. You got my screen, right?
Yeah, got it.
Okay, so first I go to the virtual box, right? First,
Yeah, please install.
I'm just installing that one.
Yeah, go ahead. Continue.
Yeah, it's loading.
Did you run the virtual box?
Yeah, yeah, it's loading.
Yeah, it is
Can you?
done. Yeah, you can run. You can run.
Yeah, yeah, I run actually. That's what I'm saying. It's loading. Can you see my screen here? It's loading.
Oh,
The
it is
installation. Yeah, yeah, it's low. Yeah, yeah. 1 second.
your
Yeah,
task manager once. Anything other than that is running or any VPN is
yeah,
running?
here. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Click it. It's okay, right?
Yeah, go ahead. Next.
Okay.
Next. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Um,
So it might ask you to restart the system.
oh,
Uh,
okay.
that is fine. It is going to create the virtual host. I don't think it is compulsory. I think Windows 10 it supports on the go virtualization. Don't
Okay.
need to.
And Pawan, and one more thing. This
Yeah,
double
sure.
I saw the in agenda. Can you take that I told you, right? Automation. I mean, shell
Script.
script. Yeah, yeah. That
Yeah.
will okay. That won't take much. I mean, like just for automation for like instant creation or startup scripts. Just a startup scripts.
Yeah, yeah. We'll talk in detail when we come to each topic. We'll discuss about the script.
Okay, and deployment. How to add the deployment? Add.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Because why I'm asking, Pawan, like um it's I'm going to that work in a uh real thing.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
a thing. Yeah. Okay. On to update with yes. Okay.
Install. Select the
Okay.
install.
Sorry. Previously, I when I try to work in a WebLogic, that time I used to install VMware and then Linux. We use convert files from Linux to, I mean, Windows to Linux. We use one more.
So actually, VMware is heavy. It loads much more on top of your Windows. Virtual box is done, right? Now go with the Vagrant installation.
Yeah. Oh, can you hear me? I mean,
Yeah, now, yeah. Suddenly
okay,
you
okay.
got stuck, your voice.
Oh,
Yeah, now run the Vagrant now. Yeah,
yeah, I
go ahead.
click it. It's loading.
Okay, cool.
No, no, I said
Yeah.
previously we used VMware.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that takes more time. This VirtualBox is like, less than a minute. It's installed and easy, right?
Yeah. So you took training for the WebLogic already?
No, Pawan, it's it's a big story. Like 4 year. Here the thing is, actually I'm from the software testing background.
Yeah, you told
When
us.
I came, yeah, when I came here, I started in WebLogic. My employer asked me to start in WebLogic, so that
Uh-huh.
time I learned myself WebLogic, asking help from my friend and search job and worked in. I entered in WebLogic, but my environment is different in my workplace, so I changed to that one, and it's a everything is a temporary project, 6 months, 6 months. So all the technologies I worked, but I don't have a full experience. I just like I can say like I survive myself for the project. That's it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So I worked in WebLogic, but I don't do more installation. I just do installation, those things, and front end. That's it. Then and next project I worked in performance engineering.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So it was keep on change. Yeah, yeah.
Performance engineering is the most valuable thing, right? It's very critical for any
Even
project.
yeah, yeah. But the thing is, that's a 6 month project only. But we used to work in their internal project. So once you understand their environment and if you start working, it takes 1 and a half months. It takes fully if you understand their environment. It only takes 2 months. Again,
Okay.
just the documentation work and the small additional work, not in the um, pure performance. Just they take into the like test environments so that so
Uh-huh.
if you support those things, the 6 months will be over. Like your project will be end. They don't extend. They don't extend. So
Uh-huh.
you like when you start learning, the project will be over. 10 to 20%. From depends on the project. Most of the projects they don't allow contractors to involve in productions and the pre-production
Uh,
environment.
okay.
So most of the full-time employees, the permanent employees, managers they used to work in um, production and pre-production.
Uh-huh.
So just if you get a chance to work in test servers only. So
Ah,
on the time itself, the project will be ended.
oh,
Yeah.
very
I told you
painful.
right. I did even deployment in WebLogic in this one, Tomcat.
Uh-huh.
That the file they share from the shared folder they shared from the
Okay.
development team.
Uh,
I'll go to the folder and I choose the how to deployment. We have a pre node for the deployment process. So I go with that one, follow that one, and do the deployment. I just want to complete the deployment. I don't know how it works and all. I don't see that one
yeah.
because they send the mail to the group, all the groups. Then, for example, if they send the mail in 8 o'clock, I have to send back them in 8:15. They ask me why for the
Uh-huh.
deployment this guy is taking 40 minutes, 1 hour. That's what they think. They doesn't know he know deployment or not.
Uh,
I sent to him, he sent back me. That's it. It's working. That's what they need.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's installed, right?
Yeah, VirtualBox successfully installed and it launched. Okay. So now the next step is you need to go for the Vagrant installation.
Background one, okay. Background it's done. I think. I mean,
Already done?
I installed actually. Background I installed. Yeah. Give me 1 second.
Okay. So you just go to the CMD command prompt and let's check. vagrant is installed or not.
Oh, it won't show in the program here.
You just type cmd, go to cmd command prompt.
Yeah.
Um,
How to check vagrant is installed or not?
just type vagrant, hit enter. It will show the help. So it is not installed.
Oh no.
Run that one. It is still running. I think it is not launched the vagrant installer.
Give me 1 second.
Something running in the background. If your VMware is running, please shut down that VMware. We are not using at the moment. So
No, it's loading. Actually, I gave install. That's what I'm thinking.
uh,
Give me 1 second. No, also we have no VMware, I think.
check the task manager. Anything running overloaded? I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, no VMware. I think I don't have VMware. This one here. Okay, it won't take much time, right? This one, Vagrant.
Vagrant. No, it doesn't take much time.
And then why it's showing? I don't know. Okay, let's try again. I think something is coming up.
Oh, it's going on the back end.
Okay.
Close the Chrome. Don't need Chrome at the moment.
Yeah, Chrome only. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need Chrome. Close that Chrome. Will open later once that vagrant is just to bring down the load on the server on your laptop.
Okay. No. It's the Go meeting is Go to meeting is running on the Chrome only, right? Or it's a separate one, right?
No,
So
it
I
is
can check
individual
here.
running.
Yeah.
Already
Yeah.
launched separately, so it
Yeah.
is
I
not.
have to close in this. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know. Something is running at background. It's loading your system. Anything running, scanners, firewalls. Please stop the firewall if it is running.
No, I don't have firewall. I mean, I fun now. Give me 1 second.
Why? What we can do, just click on the start button.
Yeah.
Search for the window firewall. Just search for firewall. Yes.
Firewall network protect network firewall and network protection. Set to turn off the power of firewall.
Yeah. Turn off.
The domain network or which one I have to turn off?
Uh, firewall public network. Something option you're getting allow.
Allow an app through firewall is showing.
Yeah.
have to select particular settings here for background or virtual machine monitoring. It's unchecked here actually.
Options.
That is not related to this one, right?
No, not this one. That cancel.
Yeah. One second, let me check here.
Can you close this one also? You just type once again firewall in search.
Which one?
Firewall in the start
Yeah,
button. Just on the close this virtual box.
firewall only, right?
Regular. No, not this one. I don't want to see this. I just want to spell it something.
Oh. Let me try his one. How?
Defender.
No, it's something. Let me close this. No, it's never like hang like this. It's first time like in maybe as you said, it's need a restart here.
Yeah, better you restart. If nothing running,
Okay,
you can restart. I'll be stay online for you.
okay.
Please
I'll
go ahead
just
and
restart
restart.
until. Yeah, I'll come back to you in
Yeah.
2 minutes. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.